Good morning, St. Francis. It is Thursday, August the 19th, 2021, Thursday of the 20th week of the year, the 20th week in Ordinary Time, coming to you from a corner of the columbarium over here. And it's another hot, steamy, awful Carolina morning, but hopefully the weather is going to break soon. So we will wait and see what happens there. Today's readings are filled with a bunch of ridiculous and stupid things. That's all you can say. Ridiculous and stupid. It doesn't make much sense, let's say. The first reading is really ridiculous and stupid because it is the unfortunate circumstance of the Israelite general Jephthah, who was going to try to defeat the Amorites, needing God's help and saying that if God helped him, the first person to exit from his doors of his house, he would sacrifice as a burnt offering. So human sacrifice, again, part of the Israelite history, and Jephthah, the general of the Israelite army, going to do that to defeat the Amorites. He is expecting a servant who was of no account, I guess, to come through the doors, and instead comes his daughter. And because he must remain firm to his vow to God, which is again ridiculous, why God allows this at all, he must sacrifice her. But the daughter, with her courage, says, "Do not worry, it's for the good of the people and the good of my people, and let me go and mourn my virginity among my friends on the mountains, and then come back and you can sacrifice me." Again, it's just a very ridiculous thing. Again, how people can see wisdom out of the most ridiculous, heinous, awful acts. It's a very difficult first reading to even try to comprehend in today's world, especially with the type of God who we understand through Jesus of Nazareth. Again, the type of God who Jesus of Nazareth reveals is not a God who would ever be happy with such a decision or such an outcome from that decision. And was probably also the God that was in the time of Jephthah, but again, trying to break oneself free of the cultural norms in which one lived to be able to follow the law of God and what God asks us to live is sometimes very difficult. And if we do not break free from those cultural norms, tragedy may ensue. In the gospel, the Pharisees and Sadducees are again trying to contend with Jesus, not happy again with his preaching. Jesus gives the parable of the great wedding feast, sending out invitations to guests who do not come, who are too busy to come. And Jesus then the master of the house goes out and says, "Well, go to the byways and the highways and bring in anyone you can find, because this feast is ready, and there's no one here who should have enjoyed it, who's come into this feast." The problem with this, which just seems wonderful, again, the feast is open to everyone, and everyone in God's plans will not be thwarted, even by our stubbornness and our obstinacy and our stupidness and our ignorance and whatever it is that we can come up with as human beings. But the problem with the end of this gospel is, again, the person who comes in without a wedding garment on. I guess everybody had to dress formally for this banquet, and the individual is silent when asked, "Why are you not here without formal dress?" And the answer to that, because the guy is silent, is just to throw him out into the outer darkness, wailing and gnashing of teeth. Well, again, it is the sense in which, what needs to be prepared in us to be able to be welcomed into this feast. It is not necessarily a blanket invitation. It is open to everyone, but we have to want to be there. We have to want to be at this feast. We have to want to be ready for this feast. We have to want to embrace this feast with everything that we are and be conscious of what it is that we're doing. If we're just letting faith wash over us while we passively sit back and expect God to do everything, it ain't going to work out. God expects us to contribute to salvation, contribute to the ongoing revelation of the kingdom of God, the reign of God. And why is that so? Because we are the image and likeness of God, which has never been taken away from us, can never be dimmed, can never be suppressed totally. It can be damaged, it can be harmed, but can never be eliminated from who and what we are as the children of God, as the light of God, as the hope of God living in this world. And may the Lord give you his peace.